At the outset of our career, everyone has a story to relate to, something which has brought a change in their life. Let me begin with something like that. So a few years back, a woman from Europe walked into my clinic in Hyderabad. She hadn't smiled in public for nearly a decade. She had lost her teeth, her confidence, and a big part of her identity. Every surgeon she met had told her the same thing. You don't have enough bone, you need multiple grafts, and it will take months, maybe a year, before you can smile again. She looked at me and said, "Doctor, I have waited long enough to smile. Please, don't make me wait for more." That moment changed everything for me. It made me question what I had accepted as truth. Was it really biology that limited us, or our belief in what was possible? In dental school, we are taught that implants need time. Time for bone to grow, time for healing, and time before we can restore. It's the rule, it's the protocol, the reality. Or at least, that's what we believed. We built a practice around this illusion that healing and progress must always be slow. But when you look closely, you realize something profound. Nature doesn't always follow our timelines. Sometimes it's a mind that lags behind biology. Years ago, I began asking myself a simple question. What if we have been looking at bone all wrong? We were focused on soft, spongy bone that disappears after tooth loss, but beneath it lies another kind, dense, strong, unyielding, the basal bone. It's like the bedrock under the soil. While the surface may erode, the rock remains. I began exploring how we could anchor implants directly into that stable foundation. It was unconventional, it went against standard teaching, but it worked beautifully. With basal implants, we could give fixed teeth in 3 days, even for patients who had been told it was impossible. What emerged from this journey is what I call Smile in 3 Days ZR, a combination of basal implants for strong support and zirconia bridges for natural aesthetics. Zirconia is remarkable. It's back compatible, beautiful, and incredibly strong. It allows us to craft teeth that look and feel alive, not artificial. So instead of waiting months, patients walk in without teeth and walk out 3 days later with a full, permanent smile. For them, it feels like magic. But for me, it's not magic. It is science seen without illusion. That woman who came from Europe, 3 days later, she stood in front of the mirror, tears in her eyes. She touched her face and whispered, "I thought this was impossible." In that moment, I realized it wasn't her bone that was weak. It was her imagination that was limited. Over the years, I have treated thousands of patients from all over the world, people who had been told no too many times. And every time they smile, again, I'm reminded that the biggest transformation isn't in the mouth, it's in the mind. They stop hiding, they laugh freely, they live fully. And I get to witness that rebirth again and again. We live surrounded by illusions, illusion of limitation, illusion of time, and illusion of what is or isn't possible. But innovation always begins with one question. What if the limitation isn't real? In my field, that question gave rise to a 3-day smile. In your field, it might lead to a 3-second insight, a 3-minute act of courage, or a 3-year revolution. The truth is, the biggest illusion is believing that reality cannot be changed. Every discovery, every invention, every smile begins when someone refuses to accept that illusion. So when I hand a patient a mirror after 3 days, and they finally see themselves again, I always think, the mirror never lies. But sometimes it takes courage and science to help someone truly see their reflection. Illusion ends when imagination begins, and that is the real smile worth sharing. Thank you.